Hey guys, Mike here. So obviously an extremely volatile day in the market today, and as I say and we'll say every day, the only thing for sure in this market is volatility. Big swings, ups and downs. You can guarantee it, right? And I'll show you that. I'm going to show you something that just happened a few minutes ago as I'm recording this. If you look at your stocks in after hours, I bet you they're going up, and this is why and what this can do for the future. But I'll say this right here. I was having also, I'm going to talk to you about one of the biggest bears of the market and what they just said, which surprised me yesterday, as a matter of fact. But I was having drinks with a friend after playing football yesterday, and I'm telling you, he's a prime example. I told him this face. He's a prime example of what I've been talking about on this channel. What is throwing the wrench into everything right now, right, is the fact that here you got all these people sitting on all this equity, right, in their home because we, or whoever owned homes, whoever owned appreciating assets, has benefited the most from inflation, right? So they went up dramatically. Okay, our grocery bills are higher, all this other stuff, but we paid a lot more money just sitting in equity, right? Well, of course, he has sold his house at the peak, and so he's telling me how you hire a financial advisor, and he's got all this money. Got to figure out how to invest it and all this other stuff because he don't keep up with the stock market, any of that stuff. But I was like, you're that guy I've been talking about. That's the thing. That's where everybody's expecting things to go to hell in a handbasket. And I'm like, there's you, right? You're sitting with all this cash. And he's like, yeah, thank God for inflation because I wouldn't have that. The house just went, shoom, see you later, skyrocketed like all the rest of ours did too, right? And so, that's what's throwing a wrench in, all the savings. And like we discussed last night, who's hurting? People on fixed income and people making below, probably, if I had to guesstimate, anywhere from 50 to 75,000 as a household are getting crushed. That's just the truth. But anybody that had appreciating assets going into this whole mess is sitting pretty right now. Who knows where that's going to end up? And that's the difference. That is what's throwing a wrench in everything. I mean, he just came back, from Orlando on a vacation and got another vacation plan. And it's just, I told you, it's just like normal life, right? And we gripe out grocery bills and utility bills, maybe insurance, that kind of stuff. But you're not stressing because you're sitting there going, how much equity am I sitting on? That's a good backup plan to have, right? I mean, so that's what I'm talking about. Much people want to hear that. That's just the truth. And that's why all the economists have been wrong so far, too, because we've never seen this before. Never seen it. Because why? My generation has never experienced inflation like this. That's what it is, right? And so, going into what the market like today, oh my goodness, look at these swings. We gap way up, right? And so immediately, what is that, 2.7% gap up, I believe it is. But what happens? Right off the bat, sell down, fill that gap completely, right? 2% gap down, filled the gap that it left from gapping up. That's a lot of gaps, right? And then moved up 1.5%, and then we got to drop back down, visit the lows over % move, and now let's go ahead and go back up the other way, right? Almost a 4%. And what happened, of course, when you look at it, as I was talking about, this can be bullish if we broke through the 20-period moving average, broke through that trend line right there, filled the gap right above it, and then of course I already showed you the movements back and forth. But that is not bearish. That's actually bullish short term. We'll have to see if we can keep the momentum. And there's a good chance this may happen tomorrow because Netflix just reported, and bam, it pops 15% in after hours. If you pull up the majority of stocks in after hours, they're following the lead. And then there's United Airlines that just reported earnings up 7%. Because why? So far, I ain't heard the call, but supposedly they're charging higher airfare and we're paying it and still traveling. Of course, I know people are going to be looking around going, oh my God, did I miss something? What happened? I don't understand why everything's up in after hours. And please hit that like, subscribe button, and share the video if you get anything out of this, guys. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate all you who signed up for the membership. And don't sign up through the YouTube membership. Sign up through the Patreon link down there, not the other one, okay? So appreciate that. And let me know if there's certain things you want to see and things like that in the membership. I'm always open to that, but I appreciate all you that have done that. Click the link down below if you're interested in that. And so that's what a lot of people are waiting on, right? I mean, a lot of people bought puts. I was like, Netflix is one of those ones, man, where it's been beaten down like a dog, and just any little thing. Remember, the bar is low. The bar has been lowered for everybody, okay? That's why everybody is expecting the apocalypse of these earnings. But when you keep lowering the bar so low, right, and you're expecting the apocalypse, and then all of a sudden they kind of trip over the finish line or wherever, come up with a number, and you go, oh my God, they got how many users? And we only expected this because we thought their company was coming to an end and stuff. Then stuff moves. We'll see what happens on the call. I assume they're having that tonight. And, we'll see what the market wants to do. But as soon as that reported, I went back and started just scrolling down stocks, and all of them just started going green, just like you saw last night when they were going crazy. So we'll see if that continues into tomorrow or not. Again, the only thing that's going to be certain is the volatility. But yeah, that's the kind of stuff. And then you got Tesla coming out with earnings. So, that's two very popular stocks. And if Tesla comes out and just trips across the finish line, that's all they have to do. All Elon Musk has to do is stay quiet on the call and not piss anybody off. And, you can see Tesla move up fast. And if it starts moving and Netflix is moving, all of a sudden here comes the momentum and people say, oh my God, this isn't as bad as we thought it was going to be. And then, money comes off the sidelines, which is a lot of money. Don't take much, right? The shorts, and this is why I was telling you, the shorts covered voluntarily, right? Because they saw what could happen. They didn't know what was going to happen. Supposedly, you don't know, but this is why they were covering and saying, okay, here we go, And of course, right now, hindsight being 2020, they were very smart for covering their shorts because they're just going to wait for another opportune moment to short again, right? And as I told the members this morning, I sent this out. The biggest things you got to watch. The dollar, right? In those 3 points right there, that line is where it's been bouncing off of and picking up strength. And you can see the RSI right there is not broke below 50. And then the other one is, look at the treasuries, the 3-month and 10-year, man. Look how close they have come now to inverting. I think that's the closest it's been so far, if I'm not mistaken. And so, it's right there. And when that happens, you're looking, depending on what you ask. I think in my video, it's like 10 to 13 months out. Some people want to say 6 to 9 months out from recession or whatever. So, that's that. And so those two things are very important to watch because a strong dollar is bad on earnings because most S&P is global companies, right? Apple brings in over half their income from overseas. What countries really hurting? Like Europe's really hurting, right? They do a lot of business in Europe. China's economy ain't the best either. They do a lot of business in China, that kind of stuff, and so do all the rest of them. But another thing, that you're seeing people start putting money to work in the market right now is because, you see number of stocks making new lows is declining because they've been hammered down. I'll show you these high growth tech stocks, and they've been holding up well, actually, shockingly, because they've been beat down so far, right? And they've been basing out for months. And that's why you'll see stocks like Roblox and others and Shop hold up because they build out support, unlike a lot of the big boys. And so, that's why people feel okay going into those. And you can see, that's how many we got now. That's how many we're setting new lows, right? And so, of course, this meme says, how low can you go? Well, we went pretty dang low, right? I got to admit, this is pretty impressive that he can do this. I don't know how he does it, especially with the fire, but that's pretty impressive. Now, I did want to throw this in there. This is a home builder sentiment, and you can just see, it's just going straight down, right? It's just falling off a cliff to the right over there. You can see the level it's at. That's 08 right there. I don't think we're ever going to hit that level. I would not think. But, you can just see that thing fell off a cliff, right? It's I'm sure the home builders are like, The funny thing is, what's not following them? Their stocks, right? They're not really responding. And, it's pretty interesting to see that. And, all the sentiment is in the toilet, but for good reason, And I think where it was crazy is, I'll say this for those who hung with me here, that I always look for some of the biggest bears and then some of the biggest bulls and see what they're doing, right? And one of the biggest bears out there, I think, is Morgan Stanley's Mike Wilson, right? And he's been right all along. I give him kudos, right? But he's been hanging with it. And even this guy yesterday in a video said it is time for a rally. Like, they are changing position right now. And they say for the long term, no. We still think we're in a bear market, all that good stuff, but we're repositioning some here to try to get some profits off this next rally. They're expecting one to come from here to year end and expect to be a nice one, right? Because they're not really expecting a big fall until probably beginning of 2023, right? They don't call for the recession until 2023. And that's kind of what I've been saying, right, for a couple weeks. Like, you got to be data dependent and understand if the real recession, an actual recession when people are losing jobs like crazy, not like Microsoft, which everybody's making a big deal of, they're laying off 1,000 employees. They have 180,000 employees, folks. It's 1,000. I don't want to see them getting laid off, but when you look at the number, 180,000 employees, 1,000. That's not some huge, oh my God, their company's coming to an end, right? Now they're not increasing their employees, and they're getting rid of some of their job openings that they put online, but still, we probably got a ways to go before you see some massive layoff on that. And a lot of people are either calling for the fourth quarter or first quarter earnings. Well, we're just reporting third quarter. And so, you know, we got to kind of keep an open mind, see what happens. But when I saw Mike Wilson say that, I was like, wow, this dude, he's been one of the biggest and legitimately right bears this year. And, you know, when you see him switching and saying, well, we need to prepare and profit because we didn't profit off the June rally, and we think this is what's going to happen. I'm like, wow, okay. Didn't expect to hear that from him. But, you know, figured I'd at least tell you and see what you think about it. So let me know what you think in the comments, you know, what you're doing and stuff. Hitting the like and subscribe button if you get anything out of it. Feel free to sign up for membership if you hadn't, and let me know what you think about that as well. So hope you have a good one, and I'll see you tomorrow.